Yo, what's good? I'm Justice the Genius Child, and welcome to another episode of Yo a Nerd. This is Keeping Up with Miles. Last time on Keeping Up with Miles, Miles meets up with the Beyond Spider-Man, Ben Reilly, and then they get into a little tussle, but then they come together and save Brooklyn from Rhizoom. And then at the end of the battle, Miles figures out that this has something to do with the Assessor. So, Miles and Ben Reilly go their separate ways. Miles goes to figure out what is going on, and in doing so, he figures out that this does have something to do with the Assessor, and him and Glurp go to take down the Assessor, which they come to this big, crazy-looking building that they must go through and see what's inside. And now, Keeping Up with Miles 34. Hey y'all, so I'm Justin Genius Child. This is Keeping Up with Miles, and here we are, Miles Morales 34, bruh. Miles Morales Spider-Man 34. So, like, if you heard, I know you heard the intro, so let's just get straight into this comic. So, Miles and Glurp are standing in front of this building. Also, disclaimer, his name is not Glurp, it is Shift. I call him Glurp because that's all he says is Glurp, so that's going to be his name for me. So that's the disclaimer, so you know from this whole episode, if you hear Glurp, I'm talking about Shift. Alright? So Miles and Glurp are standing in front of this building, and Miles is like, dang, if I had any doubts, they all gone. I know this is where the Assessor is at. I know exactly this is where he is at. So, they both tell each other, Glurp says Glurp, you feel me? And then Glurp is like, I'm glad I'm not alone. Miles says, I'm glad I'm not alone either. And they had this little moment, and now they must go inside and wreck this place up, alright? So, they go up inside. There's nobody there, but Miles like, this door is fake. So basically, Glurp just starts punishing the door for Miles to say anything. And they basically come into this room, and it's just like this crazy room with all these crazy ass doors, bruh. And this is kind of reminds me of that joint in the Matrix where Neo had to find Neo and Keyman had to find the source or whatever. Like all them doors, like it reminds me of that, just with more colors. So they go in, and there's these whole bunch of like robots that just come out that says like, hey guys, please have a seat for your orientation. They all just keep saying that over and over. They all crazy, but they got like these electrical lightsabers and shit. And then so Miles is like, the robots, let's tear them apart. Glurp was really trying to get it off here. Glurp really was trying to mess up these robots. You feel me? And they get to ripping, bro. Oh my god, they start smashing left and right. Glurp was trying to rip my man's head off in the last one, so he tried to get some lead off real quick. You feel me? They start smashing him, and then Miles is like, he's watching us. You feel me? Because the Assessor's watching him right now. It's probably a test. So then they go through a door, right? That leads basically to the same place. And then they try to go to another door that basically leads to the same place. And they just keep going through doors and doors and doors that just lead to the same place. And then Glurp just starts smashing another door. This man just about smashing. This man is the Hulk Clayface version of Spider-Man. You feel me? And then so they smash into this room, and it's like hella dark in that joint, right? And then they see a light up here. He's like, I wonder what it is. And they go to it, and they like, this gotta be a trap. And then so they spider sense start tingling, and that can be no good. And then start all these blasts just start coming. They start getting shot, and they start dodging and all that. They start jumping and all that. And I love that like Miles is quick and all that. I know we've been through that, but I still hype over it. And then so Miles is like, it's overwhelming our senses. We can't dodge all these, right? So they basically gotta find their way out. And then so they make their way out, right? And they come out to this big ass door, and the Spidey sense goes off once again. And it's Quantum, the man who snatched up Miles so he could be cloned by them. And then Miles is like, I'm gonna kill ya! And this is a movie, that's how I feel like he would have did it. So then they gets to trying to fight Quantum, but Quantum is just punishing him. I don't know how they can stop. This man is jumping. This man is basically Nightcrawler to the 100th power, right? And then so Miles tries to come at my man with like a big ass, venom punch, but my man disappears. It like knocks Miles into like another room and shit. And right then Miles finally gets to Quantum and then like blast him in his head. And then my man gets to running like a little punk. You see him right here with the little run, with the little skeletal run. And then he's like, yo, he's not teleporting. I must have really messed him up. He's running. So they like, we gotta keep after him, right? So then the assessor starts playing recordings of like when they was torturing Miles and all that. And then everything he did to him and Glurp and all that. And it's crazy. He starts playing videos and trying to get into their head and all that. It's yo. And then Miles says like he's messed with enough telepaths to know that this is not just a video, that like this man is using some psychic junk to like make them feel the pain. He's like really getting into him, you feel me? He wanted to make him feel hurt and alone again. And then so basically Miles goes to Glurp and he's like, yo, you are not alone. And then they get up, right? And then they start, banding together, like, okay, we gotta stop this. Like, he can't keep hurting us. And then the assessor comes out, he reveals himself. He pops out at the end of this comic. And that is the end of Miles Morales 34. And like I keep saying, bro, this is a Miles story. This is a Miles story and it's really good. And I like it. I like the assessor kind of like try to get into their head. And like Miles has like, his brother who's Glurp, right? But I really feel like this is what I think is going to happen. Glurp is going to die. They're building this up. They're building Glurp up. I don't think he can stay around. I don't think he can really stay around. I think he is going to die. I think at some point he will be dead, and they're just building him up and his character, his relationship with Miles, so that stings. I think that's going to happen, but it happens, But hey, maybe I'm wrong. But this also was another great comic. It was more action filled. It was an action filled comic, leading into this series. I think this is great. I think this run, right, when this comes out as a paperback, I think this will be a very dope run to get. So that was Miles Morales 34, and like I will be back with Miles Morales 35. I'm keeping y'all up with Miles. As long as Miles is a character, I'm gonna keep y'all up on him because he's the new Spider-Man and he is fire. And he's a black character. We gotta support him, and I know y'all like Miles. So thanks for watching this episode of Yo Nerd. Peace, y'all.